So here's how it started. My wife and I are sitting in a coffee shop on my 61st birthday, and I'm complaining about fake news. I can go to MSNBC and I can hear a story. I can go over to Fox and I can hear the same story, except they sound nothing alike. In almost every instance, the truth of what really happened is somewhere in between. I hate that. I can't stand that. Why don't somebody just straight shoot with me? Tell me clear and direct whether I like it, whether I agree with it or not. Just tell me what's going on. My wife, on my 61st birthday, uh, she said, I'm tired of this. Stop complaining and just do something about it.
Showing no bias for any organization, industry, or party. This is the NoBS World News.
So that's how we got here, and that's how we started doing the nightly news. I'm trying my best to reach out like the days of old and find the truth, find that happy medium between one person's story and another. Dig out the truth, find out what actually happened. Do you remember the old days? Some of you do, some of you don't, but take a look at this. On the far left is Paul Harvey. The guy in the middle is Walter Cronkite, once known as the most trusted man in America. And the guy who started this type of news, moving the what they called good journalism from print to the media, was Edward R. Murrow. He's the guy on the right. These guys, when they said something, you could take it to the bank. It was the truth. It was thoroughly researched. If they didn't know the truth, they told you what they really knew, the truth of the matter from the perspective they had. And when they found out that they were wrong, they made a mistake, they also made a correction. So you always knew, clear and direct. It didn't matter what the advertisers thought. It didn't matter what the government thought. It didn't matter what any political party or industry thought. You could count on these guys to tell you the truth. Walter Cronkite, again, as I said, the most trusted man in America. He retired in 1981. Throughout his entire career, starting as the other guys did in radio and eventually moving to television, he believed wholeheartedly, not being a figurehead sitting there reading somebody else's copy. No, he believed wholeheartedly and putting the time in, digging up the news, finding out the truth, and comparing it to what other people said was the truth, and coming to the table with what actually happened. Good journalism, he called it. This guy, Paul Harvey, is, he never, man, he made a little bit of television, but his primary station in life was radio. He believed that no matter what pictures you show somebody, that it will never be as colorful as the human imagination, what people can conjure up in their minds from the words of a good journalist. Paul Harvey was an amazing man. Walter Cronkite was a Democrat, but you didn't know it. When he was on the air, he never let politics come into play. Paul Harvey, on the other hand, was a Republican. And when he did the news, you could count on it being the truth, no matter what party it helped or didn't help. He told the truth. Now, he also did a show called Paul Harvey News and Comment. And he'd let you know where he stood. He'd let you know his opinion. And he was very strong, as Walter Cronkite was. He was very much an advocate of America and freedom of the press. And the fact that if we lose that freedom, if we lose the knowledge of the American people, giving them the knowledge of the truth, then we'll lose our freedom. We'll lose it all. And that was what they believed, and it's what I believe. In 1981, the most trusted man in America, Walter Cronkite, retired. In 2006, many years later, somebody asked him, well, what exactly do you think about fake news? They didn't call it that. They just said, the news today is a little more colorful, a little more slanted than it was when you were in the business. And what do you think about that? This is what he said.
Fighting the good fight and trying to hold on to what we knew, principles of good journalism. Honesty, fairness, truth, and totality of the story, telling both sides of a controversial story. All of those things should be practiced in every story that is carried on the air, as they once were in the better newspapers.
So let's ask this question a different way. Walter Cronkite, what made you the most trusted man in America?
Fighting the good fight and trying to hold on to what we knew, principles of good journalism. Honesty, fairness, truth, and totality of the story, telling both sides of a controversial story. All of those things should be practiced in every story that is carried on the air, as they once were in the better newspapers.
The principles of good journalism. If you like that, if you want the truth, no matter whether it agrees with your worldview or not, if you just want to know where everything stands, this is the place to come. And I hope you'll subscribe, and I hope you'll join me pretty regularly. This is H.L. Arledge. Good night.
Showing no bias for any organization, industry, or party. This is the NoBS World News.